Yes, so we discussed up to this point, right? I think yes. So for the I was asked you to read the microphones part, ne? So that we completed that part up to this point. So look at figure 3.16. The word hut in the form of a sound wave has been picked up by a microphone. This is then converted using an analog to digital converter into digital values, which can then be stored in a computer or manipulated as required using appropriate software. So when it comes to screens, screens are used to show the output from a computer. So modern screens use an LCD backlit with LEDs or the newer organic light emitting diode. That means OLED technology. LED means light emitting diode. So OLED means organic light emitting diode technology. So how it works at the bottom layer, we have glass or plastic bottom layer. And on top of that, we have the glass anode. A glass anode decay, that means actually whatever we have as the positive charge. A positive charge එක තමයි මෙතන මේ විදිහට මේ circles වලින් represent කරලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒකෙත් උඩ we have the conductive layer. Conductive layer එකෙන් උඩ emissive layer. And then ඒකේ උඩ negative charge layer එක දෙනවා. And at last we have the ඒ කියන්නේ අනිත් පැත්තෙන් දැන් මේක ඇවිල්ලා ඩයෝඩ් එකේ උඩ යට එන්නේ රවුමක් වගේ ඇතුලෙන් එන්නේ. එතකොට cover වෙන්නේ glass or the plastic top layer. So මේ දෙක ඇතුලේ තමයි මේ ටික සම්පූර්ණයෙන් මේ විදිහට තියෙන්නේ. So for the OLEDs, that is organic LEDs, use organic materials made up of carbon compounds to create flexible semiconductors. So organic films are sandwiched between two charged electrodes. One is a metallic cathode and the other a glass anode as well. When an electric field is applied to the electrodes, they give off light. This means that no form of backlighting is required. This allows for very thin screens. It also means that there is no longer a need to use LCD technology since OLED is a self-contained system as well. So the screen displays are based on the pixel, the smallest picture element concept, where this screen pixel is made up of 3 subpixels, which are red. The 3 subpixels means anyway RGB, red, green, and blue. By varying the intensity of the 3 subpixels, it is possible to generate millions of colors as well. So the greater the number of pixels on a screen, the greater is the screen resolution. The number of pixels which can be viewed horizontally and vertically on screen. So for example, we have this amount pixels. So for the LCDs and OLED screens, use this type of pixel matrix to make up the picture as well. So here we have the pixel matrix. So for the touch screens anyway, which act as both input and output devices, also make use of LCD and OLED technology, and they are particularly used in mobile phones and the tablets as well. So we shall now consider LCD capacitive and resistive touch screen technologies. Two screen technologies, touch screen technologies. One is LCD capacitive and the other one is LCD resistive. So there are two again various methods and the types which we use, these ones. So for the capacitive one, made up of many layers of glass that act like a capacitor. Capacitor එකක් විදිහට තමයි ඒක act කරන්නේ. creating electric fields between the glass plates in layers. And also, when the top glass layer is touched, the electric current changes and the coordinates where the screen was touched are determined by an onboard microprocessor as well. So for the benefits, what are those ones? Medium cost technology, screen visibility is good even in strong sunlight, and permits a multi-touch capability. Screen is very durable and it takes a major impact to break the glass as well. So these are the benefits and what we do with these capacitive LCDs. So when it comes to drawbacks, limitations and the drawbacks or the disadvantages, this only allows the use of bare fingers as the form of input, although the latest screens permit the use of a special stylus to be used as well. And when it comes to resistive means these ones makes use of an upper layer of polyester, උඩම තියෙන එක polyester layer එකක්, a form of plastic, and a bottom layer of glass as well. When the top polyester layer is touched, the top layer and bottom layer complete a circuit. So signals are then sent out, which are interpreted by a microprocessor, and the calculations determine the coordinates of where the screen was touched. When it comes to benefits, a relatively inexpensive technology. One is relatively inexpensive technology. The other one is possible to use bare fingers, gloved fingers, or stylus to carry out an input operations. And the drawbacks, what are those drawbacks? Screen visibility is poor in strong sunlight, and also it does not permit multi-touch capability. And screen durability is only fair. It is vulnerable to scratches and the screen wears out through the entire time as well. Okay, so that's about it. We read up until this now. Just read the touch screen part as well.
Surely. Okay, teacher, could you scroll it down? Okay, teacher.
Okay, so for the virtual headset, Virtual reality has now been around for many years and has many applications. So, for example, it is possible to walk around inside dangerous areas such as a nuclear power plant without actually being there. So, it allows engineers to plan modifications or repairs to a plant in complete safety and to try out different scenarios. So, first, before implementing them, one of the devices used is a virtual reality headset, which gives the engineer the feeling of being there. And we will now describe how these devices work. What are those ones? So, first point is video is sent from a computer to the headset either using an HDMI cable or a smartphone fitted into the headset. The second point is two feeds are sent to an LCD or OLED displays. Sometimes two screens are used, one for the left side of the image and one for the right side of the image as well. So these lenses placed between the eyes and the screen allow for focusing and reshaping of the image or the video for each eye, thus giving a 3D effect and adding to a realism as well. So most headsets use 110 field of view, which is enough to give a pseudo 360 surround image or the video. A frame rate of 60 to 120 images per second is used to give a true realistic image. And as the user moves their head up and down or left to right, a series of sensors and LED measure this movement, which allows the image or the video on the screen to react to the user's head movements. So how it works, these sensors are usually gyroscopic and or accelerometers, and the LEDs are used in conjunction with mini cameras to further monitor head movements as well. And the next point it says headsets also use binaural sound, that means surround. Okay, වටපිටාවේ තියෙන ඔක්කොම sounds, so that the speaker output appears to come from behind, from the side or from a distance, giving very realistic 3D sound as well. So some headsets also use infrared sensors to monitor eye movements in addition to the head movement. Eye movement එකත් catch කරනවා, which allows the depth of field on the screen to be more realistic. An example of this is to make objects in the foreground appear fuzzy when the user's eyes indicate they are looking into the distance. අර මූණට ලං කරලා බලනකොට එච්චර මේ පැහැදිලිව පේන්නේ නැති වෙන එකටත් එක රීසන් එකක්. මේ part එකත් කියවන්නකෝ for the virtual headset part.
Sure it is. Okay, teacher.
Okay, that part also done. You read up until here, right? The last point as well.
Yeah, teacher.
Okay. So for the sensors are input devices which read or measure physical properties such as temperature, picture, acidity, and so on. So the real data is analog in nature. This means it is constantly me taran in detail lang exam papers වල අහන්නේ obviously, but you have to have kind of a good idea about these ones. ඒ වගේම වැඩිපුර නම් focus කරන්න ඕනේ we have to do more papers. අපි කරගෙන ගිහිල්ලා we'll do more papers. So for the real data is analog in nature, this means it is constantly changing and does not have a discrete value. So for the analog data usually requires some form of interpretation. For example, it can be the temperature shown on a mercury thermometer requires the user to look at the height of the mercury to work out the temperature. So the temperature therefore can have an infinite number of values depending on the precision of how the height of the mercury is measured. Equally, an analog clock requires the user to look at the hands on the clock face and the area swept out by the hands allows the number of hours and minutes to be interpreted. So there are many other examples as well. So for these computers cannot make any sense of these physical quantities and the data needs to be converted into a digital format. This is usually achieved by an analog to digital converter ADC. This device converts physical values into discrete digital values as well. So here we have the analog data and it will go through ADC, analog to digital converter, and then we'll receive the digital data as a binary code, computer file. So when a computer is used to control devices such as a motor or a valve, it is often necessary to use a digital to analog converter since these devices need analog data to operate in many cases. Frequently, an actuator is used in these control applications, although these are technically output devices. They are mentioned here since they are an integral part of the control system as well. So an actuator is an electromechanical device such as a relay, solenoid, or a motor as well. But we have to keep in our mind that a solenoid is an example of a digital actuator as part of the device is connected to a computer which opens the closest a circuit as required. When energized, the solenoid may operate a plunger or armature to control, for example, a fuel injection system as well. So other actuators such as motors and valves may require a DAC so that they receive an electric current rather than a simple digital signal.
Teacher, you got stuck, teacher.
Give me 1 minute because I'm getting a call. Give me 1 minute.
Teacher, are you there?
Sorry, I got a call. එකයි මේ stuck වුණේ. Now you can hear me, right?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. So, okay, here when energized, the solenoid may operate a plunger or armature to control, for example, a fuel injection system. So the other actuators such as motors and valves may require a DAC so that they receive an electric current rather than a simple digital signal direct from the computers as well. Notice the importance of positive feedback, which is where the output from the system can affect the next input. So this is due to the fact that sensor readings may cause the microprocessor to alter a valve or a motor as well. So for example, which will then change the next reading taken by the sensor. So the output from a microprocessor will impact on the next input received as it attempts to bring the system within the desired parameters as well. So here we have all the sensors. They have listed down all the sensors with the example applications. මෙන්න මේවා නම් දැනගන්න ඕනේ. So for the temperature sensor එකක් නම් where we apply these ones, example applications will be to control a central heating system. එහෙමත් නැත්නම් control or monitor a chemical process ඒවා control කරන්න. And for the control or monitor temperature in a greenhouse. ඊට පස්සේ moisture, humidity or humidity sensors ගත්තාම control or monitor moisture, humidity levels in soil, air in a greenhouse, එහෙමත් නැත්නම් monitor dampness levels in the industrial applications. So maybe for example, monitor moisture in a paint spray booth in a car factory. And we have the light sensors, infrared and the motion sensors, and the pressure sensors. ඒ විතරක් නෙමෙයි acoustic and sound sensors, gas sensors, and also pH sensors and the magnetic fields as well. These are all the sensors, and they have listed down day-to-day life, what are the applications, where we have applied all these sensors in our day-to-day life. They have given us few applications. So that is there. So for the sensors are used in both monitoring and control applications. There is a subtle difference between how these two methods work. මේ methods දෙක වැඩ කරන විදිය සම්පූර්ණයෙන් වෙනසක් තියෙනවා. So the flowchart figure 3.21 overleaf shows a simplification of the process as well. Okay. Can you read from the sensors part?
Sure, teacher. Teacher, can you scroll it down? Teacher, could you scroll it down? Teacher, could you scroll it down? Teacher, could you scroll it down?
Okay, that's it. So here,
Okay, teacher.
for the sensors for monitoring and the controlling systems are මේක තමයි we have two separate systems කියලා කිව්වනේ. One part is for monitoring and the other part is for controlling කියලා. So here for the then we have to start with the sensors send signals. Okay, from where we have to start? From the beginning. එතකොට sensors send signals that make it's like a cycle. So here sensors send signals to the microprocessor or computer. ඉස්සෙල්ලාම sensor එක signal එක යවනවා microprocessor එකට හරි computer එකට හරි. ඊට පස්සේ the signals are converted to digital. ඒ යවන signals ඔක්කොම digital විදිහට convert කරනවා අවශ්‍ය නම් ඕන වුණොත් විතරක් using an analog to digital converter. And then the microprocessor or computer analyzes the data received. එයාට හම්බ වෙන data ටික එයා ඔක්කොම completely analyze කරනවා by checking it against stored values. අර store කරලා තියෙන values එක එයා completely check කරලා බලනවා මොකක්ද method එක කියලා. And then so then then what will happen here if okay, so now the microprocessor or the computer analyzes the data received by checking it against stored values. Store කරලා තියෙන values එක තමයි එයා compare කරන්නේ. ඊට පස්සේ තමයි it divides or it separates into ඒ කියන්නේ parts දෙකකට. One part is for monitoring system and the other part is for controlling system. So for the monitoring system, if new data is outside the acceptable range, a warning message is sent to a screen or an alarm is activated. And then the microprocessor or a computer has no effect on what is being monitored and it is simply watching the process. මේ ඇවිල්ලා monitoring system එකේදී මුකුත් control කරන්න කිසි දෙයක් කරන්න යන්නේ නැහැ. එයා නිකන් monitor කරනවා විතරයි ඇත්තටම. But for the controlling system, සම්පූර්ණයෙන් control කරද්දී if the new data is outside the acceptable range, the microprocessor or computer sends signals to control valves, motors, and so on. And the output from the system affects the next set of inputs from the sensors as well. So make control system එකෙන් මේක මෙහෙම වෙනවා, monitoring system එකෙන් මේක මෙහෙම වෙනවා. එන output එක මෙහෙම ගිහලා ආයි මුලටම connect වෙනවා with the sensors. මේක නිකන් cycle එකක් වගේ තමයි completely වැඩ කරන්නේ. And the table 3.8 shows some examples of monitoring and control applications of sensors. මෙතන තියෙනවා completely monitoring වලට examples and then we have the controlling වලට examples. So monitoring a patient in a hospital for vital signs such as heart rate, temperature and so on. And then checking for intruders in a burglar alarm system and checking the temperature levels in a car engine and monitoring pollution levels in a car driver, I guess. In a river. Monitoring pollution levels in a river. වැවක තියෙන මේවා පරිසරය දූෂණය වෙලා තියෙන ඒවා monitor කරන. ඒවා ඔක්කොම ඇවිල්ලා monitoring systems. And for the controlling systems, examples of controls, ඒවා විල control කරන්න ඕනේ. So then turning street lights on at night and during the daytime, make a switch off වෙනවා හරියටම ඉරේ එළියත් එක්කම. And then for the controlling the temperature in a central heating or air conditioning system, ඊටත් පස්සේ controlling the traffic lights at a road junction and operating anti-lock brakes on a car when necessary. ඊට පස්සේ controlling the environment in a greenhouse. මේ තියෙන ඔක්කොම examples of controlling systems. And මෙතන තිබ්බේ control monitoring systems වලට examples. One of the most common uses of sensors in modern times is in the monitoring and control of a number of functions in motor vehicles and aeroplanes as well. Look at figure 3.21 showing a typical modern car and its many sensors used to control or monitor several functions as well. So මේ තියෙන්නේ car එකේ සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම sensors උයි තියෙන ඒවයි මොනවාද අර mirrors වල අලුතෙන් sensors එනවා distance වලට measure කරන්න line departures වලට වෙනමම sensors එනවා ඔය වගේ ගොඩාක් ඒවට අපිට sensors එනවා සම්පූර්ණයෙන් දැන් කා එකක 8 to 12 වගේ sensors වෙනවා reverse cam එකේ sense එකක් තියෙනවා front side එකේ වෙනමම sense එකක් තියෙනවා ඔය වගේ sensors කීපයක් තියෙනවා okay just read up until this part මෙත් පිටුව විතරක් නිකන් කියවන්නකෝ
Okay, teacher.
okay that part also done up until this one. Okay, so for the okay, anyway, think the lesson is right. For the anti-lock braking systems, last part, anyway, we were in the application sides, no, application sides, no. So for the anti-lock braking systems on cars, anti-lock braking systems, that is ABS, one of the on cars use magnetic field sensors to stop the wheels locking up on the car if the brakes have been applied too sharply. ABS කියන්නේ අපි short form එකෙන් කියන්නේ when one of the car wheels rotates too slowly, it is locking up. A magnetic field sensor sends data to a microprocessor, and the microprocessor checks the rotation speed of the other three wheels. And if they are different, rotating faster, the microprocessor sends a signal to the braking system, and the braking pressure to the affected wheel is reduced, and the wheel's rotational speed is then increased to match the other wheels as well. So the checking of the rotational speed using these magnetic field sensors is done several times a second, and the braking pressure to all the wheels can be constantly changing to prevent any of the wheels locking up under heavy braking. So this is felt as a judger on the brake pedal as the braking system is constantly switched off and on to equalize the rotational speed of all four wheels as well. If one of the wheels is rotating too quickly, braking pressure is increased to that wheel until it matches the other three as well. So this is activity 3A up until this. Okay, read this part as well.
Okay, teacher.
Okay, okay. So you can do the exercise. Anyway, this was for the previous one. What about the logic gates? Are you okay with logic gates?
It is okay, teacher.
It is okay, right? Okay, then we have to move to the everything is okay, right? I mean, the mechanic
Yeah,
conversion.
teacher, I have some. I think I have sent you the lessons. I'm not familiar.
Oh, අතන තුනයි තිබ්බේ hardware part එකයි and the system part එකයි and also another one. There are hardware කිරුවාම entire third unit නේ ඒක ඇතුලේ තමයි logic gates තියෙන්නේ. I think logic gates is fine for you.
Yeah, it's processor fund. We did processor one, right?
Yes, okay. These ones. Okay, then we can I think I have another one, right? Another two parts now. So we'll
Yeah,
finish.
teacher.
මගේ හෙට class එකත් cancel වුණා. If you are available right I mean morning, I can do a class like 3 hours වගේ because මගේ class එක cancel වුණා. So I'm available. I'm free. Let me know if
Uh,
you're
I
available.
have to see teacher because I have planned a
Okay.
class around at 8.
All right.
Uh,
No problem. No problem. Then
okay,
that's
teacher.
fine. Okay. Okay. Sure. Sure. Thank you.
Teacher, could you send me the short notes of this lesson,
Okay.
teacher? I think you have to send me after.
I think for the third hardware part එකේ සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම ඕනේ, right? පොඩ්ඩයි
Yeah, I think
මම මුල session එක.
after. I can't remember.
Okay, okay. I'll send the entire note.
Optical media, teacher. After
Pickle
optical
me.
media.
Okay, okay. I'll take a note on that. Okay.
Sure.
See you
God,
then. Bye.
God bless.
You too.
Sure, teacher. Bye. God bless you. Thank you, teacher.
You too.